And then it got
Give me a second. But this came up when the first thing I did, all I did was type in Instagram and hit enter. First thing I opened, I had been on Instagram in about a month or two. Holy crap. By the way, I've seen this a year ago, but it's got 100,000 views, 100,000, millions of views, 100,000 likes elsewhere, but it's being reposted again. I want to, Jews snitched on themselves and admitted being the problem behind all this crap, bro. Including this guy, Rabbi Finkelstein, which Google says is is not true. It's not a real thing. It is. What the hell? Alright. That is crazy. I got this crap in my ear, something blue in it. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, I'm going to get into these flock clips that I might have to go through saved. Alright folks, so we're going to talk about flock. Forgot about flock. And how, like, this guy beating his case. Again, not giving the name again. And trapping the judge when they put not here, and I'll go sign an affidavit that you appeared. And she put not on there. And you get that as evidence. And put that on the record. Flock. Huh. You can't even get anything to come up when no results found. You can't search for this stuff on Instagram. So let me try YouTube. Flock camera. So we'll get into the guy here that we all seen in the updates. But critics what? Flock used cameras at a children's gymnastics center. They're making AI with all this footage too. Like they're, oh my god, stripping them naked and everything like that. Like, even as I do these topics, I get these visions. They're not really visions, but I'm seeing what they see. I do it in my sleep. I don't ever talk about it, folks. I don't know what it's called. But where the Lord shows you, or the spirit realm, whatever you want to call it, they show you this stuff. Like, why are they filming all the kids with flock cameras? Why are they at parks and the other hotspots for young children, like those things that, like, you know what I'm talking about, the sprinkler things that the kids play in, the city pools. But first, we're going to try to stick with people have been finally sticking up after we realize it's Jewish pedophile surveillance.
I think that this will have...
Oh, in the case, it's Flock used cameras at Children's Gymnastics Center for a sales pitch. We'll get into the people vandalizing them, and then we'll get into this guy going to court and beating him and his buddies. But first, camera's not working. I don't know. But first, let's sit. Here we go.
Okay, now that I have your attention, there is this company called Flock. You know, like a flock of birds. Or in this case, more like the little birds in Game of Thrones that are around King's Landing and have eyes everywhere, spying on the people. It's a surveillance company that uses AI to track license plates on cars.
Love these.
Thank you, AI Dave. Like me, you may have received an automated speeding ticket in the past that has a photo of your car and its license plate.
Yeah, those cameras got you so many times in DC.
True, but I was never a Maryland driver, so I actually paid them.
Burn.
Anyway, most people agree that these photo speeding tickets are mostly fine, but
We hate those flock cameras. It's surveillance in our town that nobody asked for.
let me guess, you're from Bandera, Texas.
Yep, and our city council just voted to ban flock cameras in a 3-2 vote. Why would they do such a thing?
Because these cameras aren't just being used to track speeding cars, some of the new ones are doing a lot more, and they're creating a digital footprint. And in many towns, citizens aren't even aware how much data they're collecting or that they even exist.
Those cameras know about the gun racks in my car. They even know what my bumper stickers say. Hey, I like your 8-year-old humor bumper stickers. See what I mean? He knows everything about me, including my very funny bumper stickers.
It's not just what's in.
I've seen a picture like a Raider sticker on the back bottom right window of a guy's truck. This is real. So I don't mistake you for another truck. Like, oh yeah, they're gonna get you. They're everywhere. In random spots. And we're gonna look all over this route to Pittsburgh, folks, that I want to go watch a Pittsburgh game. But we're avoiding these things. A lot of them don't even show up on here. A lot of the newer ones. They're starting to. Pittsburgh, Kansas, 40. You got more than that in Tulsa, which is bigger. I don't really have them in my county yet. 1 or 2 spots maybe up by the lake. Actually 1 spot, and it's in the Cherokee County. Actually, so it's not in our county because that county's got a few. I'll show what it looks like and how like you think. All right, some intersections where people are coming into town. I get it. And then you got the whole lake, nothing. All these areas they could get people, nothing. And they put like 15 of them at one corner at our lake. I don't understand, but let's get into it. Sorry.
Or on your car, it's where you're going. These cameras are installed all over a city, creating a map that tracks your daily whereabouts.
Yeah, so we can help police catch criminals.
It's true that flock cameras have helped police apprehend criminals.
See?
But it also helps police stalk
Straw man or a thing that, oh yeah, they've captured a few bad guys using flock as a red herring to distract from like the fact they're going after everybody and creating this database. For people that don't pay much attention to what's going on, don't know how bad things are, they're like, oh yeah, you know, it is what it is. They make excuses and just focus on the 2 criminals they busted with it instead of a bunch of people that are just getting tickets and the increase of revenue and the policing for profit, violating the court rules on police for profit, Supreme Court or somebody.
girlfriends. Oh. This former police officer in Kansas used flock cameras to track his ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend 228 times
See, I forgot this video in Kansas.
over 4 months.
Okay, well that's just one guy.
He was the second police officer in the area to get caught doing this.
Well, maybe that's just something that's happening in Kansas.
This police officer in Milwaukee also used the flock system to track his ex.
That's a lot of ex-girlfriends.
Well, here's something different. This officer in Florida used the system to stalk someone that they wanted to be in a romantic relationship with. So that's different.
These cameras are already all over the country. There's no stopping them. But 60 communities have canceled or rejected contracts.
That's true.
60.
And recently in Troy, New York, the Democratic City Council tried to get the
See, so we used that 60 in the court case. Said, by the way, since I showed up, my only thing is 60 cities and counting have voted against it. A bunch of other counties, you know, canceling their contracts. It's probably more than that. That's just probably what's public. That's the ones that had a vote. The rest of them don't even think they need a vote on it. I haven't seen them even try to vote on it. in my entire county of 50,000 people. So I don't know. If they do, you'll be the first to know. Right here on this community radio station.
Flock cameras taken down. In response, the Republican mayor declared a state of emergency so that they could keep funding the cameras and said that they would never be taken down. For what it's worth, we banned those cameras in our very red city. Wow, an issue people on both sides of the aisle agree on. See, I'm bringing people together against me. Yeah, that's true.
I'm bringing people together against me. I'm still doing something, right? Hold on, what do we play now? Not even the worst thing I've seen. But we're going to get into that. I got to do this.
All right, Alan, thank you. The fight over flock cameras, it is escalating. We have reported extensively on the cases made for keeping them.
Your car has a computer in it. It's following you anywhere.
And for getting rid of them.
ICE uses them regularly, regardless of so-called guardrails.
But recently, some people have been letting their anti-flock feelings be known, not with words, but actions. This is video from Parma earlier this month where vandals sawed a camera off. Now someone's damaged cameras in Ashland, too.
This trail of damage is sparking an investigation. I'm your Ashland County reporter, Catherine Ross, and this is what's left of a flock camera here on Claremont Avenue. It's one of several investigators say were targeted by vandals.
This is why, because they want to be able to charge you even further. The flock cameras, yeah, you might be able to get dismissed after vandalizing them, but if they put them on a street lamp, that's why some of them are on street lights or the same post as a street light and up, and they have this contract with the city or this easement to do such, which I don't think you can do in most places. I don't know how that works. But yeah, they got that going on. They've already had other types of readers before in surveillance. And they put street things that weren't surveillance or that they weren't necessarily using to write extra tickets. But now it's automatically getting anyone on any little violation, and that's just revenue generation. Traffic infractions aren't the law. Or not commercial use. Of course, every little violation, go ahead. You can do that to the semi-trucks, the taxi drivers, and the Uber drivers. But for us, private individuals, going to work and back, raising a family, knock it off, man.
And vandalism comes amid growing debate over how these cameras are used. On Ashland streets, tradition and cutting-edge technology share space. The space where some of the most controversial tech sits now contains broken glass, missing cameras, and toppled poles.
I just saw it on Facebook that somebody went around and had completely demolished all of the cameras.
Investigators say suspected vandals targeted at least 5 flock cameras late last week. On Wednesday, we could still see tire tracks near this mowed-down pole. The Ashland County Sheriff's Office says its agency, the City of Ashland, and Loudonville share responsibility over the cameras. We've previously reported how Northeast Ohio law enforcement has used the automated license plate readers. They recently pinged an attempted murder suspect from Canton more than 30 miles away in Hudson. And North Olmsted credited them for finding a car taking during an aggravated robbery.
They have probably been the best tool that we've had in our toolbox to apprehend criminals.
Some Ashland neighbors see the...
Of course, cops that trained in Israel are going to say that on TV to buy time. Dude, pedophiles are surveilling your kids with this shit and making AI kitty porn with... God damn it. I can't... I gotta stutter what I'm saying when I say certain words or speak in code and use keywords that won't get me removed. Holy shit. We gonna get into it though, using mainstream sources. Giggity. And then some other sources, but well, we're going to try to use mainstream sources too for you cards.
Their value.
My take is if you're not doing anything wrong, what's the big deal with them? I mean, they're here from what I see, if there's a child abducted or,
Quite the opposite. There's like 1 or 2 cases where they stop somebody, but the majority of the child abductors have immunity and the cameras, they help them get out. And, not get caught. A lot of this is It's civilian surveillance, folks. And people trafficking kids aren't necessarily like regular civilians. They're part of a large network at this point. Go on, folks. Who would you traffic to? Where, like, you think that's just rednecks? Well, we go and traffic to each other, giggity. Like, like the old days of slavery where you just, sold to each other and had markets like it was a hog market or a beef market. Fuck out of here. I'm gonna take that cow to market. All right, get out of here. That's not what's going on. It's the rich of the rich. Everybody knows. If it isn't going after all the Epstein clients, then it's not going after real trafficking. When you see like the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics, every post on Facebook is, you can message us here, or you can go online and report trafficking or human trafficking. And I'm like, alright, the Epstein files were admitted by the DOJ. Nothing. They're like, alright, help us explain what the problem, you've seen what? Yeah, the whole country seen the Epstein files get confirmed by the federal government, but the marshals do nothing. You could do something for the people related here in our state. Crickets. So again, they're all protecting PDF files. This is to go after us and to keep a track of the people that they're tracking your phone, and they're tracking this, connecting your phone's GPS and passing those cameras and getting your plate and everything for all the truthers. They have a list of all the truthers, anyone that's posting and reposting and liking, whether you're making content like me and others. You don't have to be. You could just be liking and watching our content, and you're surveilled and on the list. And if you do something like I'm doing, all I gotta do is follow you and make something happen. You go in to get gas somewhere, you go watch a football game 4 hours like me, and they put something in the fuel, and you blow up down the road. Like, stop. Or in the parking lot. Stop playing with me. But there's so many of us that they can't just, but it's there. And I need to wake up. Because this guy just beat the shit. We're going to get to it.
There's a stolen car. I mean, I think they can be beneficial.
But some believe...
Stolen car. We already have surveillance cameras for that. There's no proof it brings down theft. It's just so many of it. It's ridiculous.
They are a big deal.
Nobody should be surveilled. Privacy is a human right.
And she's covering her face. Privacy is a human right. I mean, I get that, but like, she's in public. There's no expectation of privacy in public. With the they're still relying on the plain view doctrine. And again, that's commercial roads, maybe, which is ridiculous. Nobody should be surveilled, but
Be identified, but she shares similar concerns with others who talked to News 5. Our investigators found outside agencies, including ICE, accessing systems
I don't give a fuck.
Reverberations. I think that this will have reverberations across other cities because it shows how intense and vast the Flock network is. Hello and welcome to the 404 Media podcast, where we bring you unparalleled access to hidden worlds both online and IRL. 404 Media is a journalist-founded company and needs your support. To subscribe, go to 404media.co. As well as bonus content every single week, subscribers also get access to additional episodes where we respond to their best comments. Gain access to that content at 404media.co. I am hosting this episode. I'm Jason Kebler. Sam was trying to, I could tell, I could see it in her eyes.
Ready. I was ready to jump in.
She did it last week. You did it last week. So my turn. So Sam is here.
That's the whole hour. We ain't going to do that. I thought this was a clip. Sorry. Go check him out. Here's some other people.
With Base 44, a simple sentence becomes your website.
You may have recently seen cameras that look like this, or this, or this. These may seem similar to traditional security cameras or radars, but they're much more powerful. The most well-known brand of these new cameras is Flock. And within the last 14 months, the amount of these cameras across the country has doubled to now over 100,000.
And these things literally have the capability to track and store your faces, your whereabouts.
And it's like if you were to build a graph of that sheet, and plot it to a map, now it's as if you've had a GPS on your car for an entire month.
These cameras track license plates and store digital mappings of people's movements. Police can then search that data for 30 days. They also use AI to make note of various vehicle features like scratches and dents. So now an underworld is forming. Across America, people are destroying and vandalizing Flock cameras.
As they should. This is ridiculous. Why are they surveilling all of us for dents and scratch? Are we criminals? By default or something? Come on. I think with all the crime going on, you think surveilling the people is out the question. We're going to get them on every little missed turn signal type shit. And try to arrest them on it instead of going after the Epstein.
This is an insight into that world.
I wanted to do something that I could put in a video that would bring awareness to these Flock cameras, but I also understood that there might be serious consequences if I did actual serious damage to these cameras. So I was thinking about what I might want to do, and the night before, my friend sent me a video of another town where residents of the town had put trash bags over.
So at least do that. I'm going to start doing that.
Over the cameras. I don't know if they had done it after the city had voted to remove the cameras and they were just covering them up until they were removed, or they were covering them up before there was any vote or anyone had decided to take them away. Anyway, that's how I got the idea. So I went and got some trash bags, and there were dozens of Flock cameras just within a few blocks of where I live. So I took those trash bags and went to a couple and put the bag over, which allowed me to communicate a message here. I'm not damaging them. Local police are able to take the trash bags off pretty easily, but here I am covering them, which may or may not render them useless. But if it does render them useless, what is the use that they are being used for? That's the big question, because it's not just Flock cameras. The way I think about this is, let's fast forward 10 years into the future. If we let this go unchecked and we continue down this path, what does that world look like? I mean, you look at just how many cameras have been installed in the past year. You can kind of drag your finger on the deflock map and see the number of cameras across the nation. It feels like it's growing exponentially. So from what we're seeing right now, I can conceive of a world in 10 years where there's one of these on every single corner, and I can't leave my house without a corporation knowing exactly where I am and where I'm going, and I definitely don't want to live in a world like that. It's tough because it feels like this is where we're headed anyway, right? It feels like Amazon's putting camera glasses on all their drivers, and some companies gonna have drones that are delivering things to our backyard with cameras on them, and our phones that we're carrying already log a map of what we're doing and where we're going and what we're saying. So it feels like we're already there, and I don't know exactly what that solution is going to be, but I know that this is something that we should be talking about as a nation.
But some people are taking things a step further.
When it comes to Flock cameras, I just straight up destroy them. I get rid of them. I don't leave them up. I don't leave any chance for them to pull up and just take the trash bag off or uncover them. I take them with me and I'll completely dismantle them and then dispose of the parts individually in different locations, so then they have to spend the money, spend the resources to get a new one. Obviously, what I'm doing is not the best way of going about doing it. Instead, get a lawyer, go to city council meetings, bring these up, and tell your city you don't like them, and I guarantee you people will agree with you, and then you can get them removed peacefully and correctly. But I want immediate action, so I'm just doing it myself. I also just like breaking things, so I figured this would be the one thing I can get away with breaking, that everyone would be in agreement is cool. Not cool, but like we're cool with it happening.
What are you concerned about?
My biggest thing is Not so much the privacy, it's just the fact that they're putting these up to try to prevent future crimes from happening, which is crazy. Once they have this system in place, it's only a matter of times before they start changing what the rules are or what constitutes as a crime. And then they can just pick you up off the street for doing literally whatever. And they've got this whole system in place to find you and track you. I don't like that. I don't like that.
The times where policing and surveillance was at an all-time high was literally during the Holocaust when they were trying to let genocide slide. There was no privacy. If a police officer wanted to enter your home and completely search with no warrant, enter your home, interview everyone in the home with no warrant, as if they're investigating a murder, was when they were committing genocide. That's what it required. So you could imagine if we're getting to a point where we have to watch the entire country from camera. That's just step one. First off, you give them an inch, they take a mile. It's where are we heading from this? Especially when there's already genocides being covered up, across the planet right now without these level of cameras. That's my bigger conspiracy, is that they're trying to plot some next level of evil and they're going to need these cameras for. I would say another argument is we already have a lot of data. We have cameras on us all the time. I don't think we need these additional cameras. There's already enough data to collect. The thing is, for these flock cameras, you don't have to commit as high as a crime for them to tap into these cameras. You could just be speeding or suspicious. Versus right now, they could access my location right now, my camera right now, my microphone right now. They've been tapping phones for the last, few decades. But that's if I'm committing some kind of high-level drug operation or a series of murders. They can tap into these iPhones. They can read all of my messages if they wanted. They would just need a warrant for that. That's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna bridge the entire thing. We're getting into a society where they can conduct warrantless searches, and that's insane.
On here, you got to see this.
Where do you think all of this new age witchcraft, Freemasonic?
John here. Good news. My microphone's messed up, so I have to get a little close.
On here, you got to.
Sir.
Found out my buddy was going viral last week for cutting flock cameras down in Albuquerque. I'm replacing them with flags.
Good evening. It's an odd case in Rio Rancho where license plate reader cameras were destroyed, then replaced with a flag. Police say the man behind the crime cost the city thousands in damages. News 13's Bianca Hoops has that video.
A series of vandalized cameras have Rio Rancho police questioning who did it.
So that's where our ALPRs were, the license plate reader. Someone stole the reader and replaced it with this flag. We had the same thing happen yesterday off of Meadowlark. When did they do that?
So I called him up, and he told me he had a court case on Monday. I showed up, and because I did, I was able to capture, literally, what none of you were supposed to see.
And can you kind of comment on why you're here today?
So, a guy named Jeffrey F.C. and Peter Thiel specifically owns a company that owns flock cameras.
I caught the media lying about him. One of the local news stations in Albuquerque aired this clip.
After a bizarre scene in court today, a judge says she will issue an arrest warrant for the man accused of vandalizing license plate readers in Rio Rancho, but he says he has no intention to stop his actions.
You have plans to continue to take
no intention of vandalizing. In court today, a judge says she will issue an arrest warrant for the man accused of vandalizing license plate readers in Rio Rancho, but he says he has no intention to stop his actions.
You have plans to continue to take down these flock cameras?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. They are a clear and present threat to public safety.
44-year-old Javon Martinez is facing larceny, property damage, and tampering with evidence charges after police say he destroyed 3 flock cameras, costing Rio Rancho thousands of dollars in damage. They say he replaced the cameras with the sign saying, "You're welcome, Republic of New Mexico." Martinez showed up to court today, but he refused to identify himself during the proceedings. The judge considered that as a failing to appear in court, but Martinez claims he exercised his right to remain silent.
No, I can't. You call me, but I am here. I'm right here. I stood up. I walked up there. She wanted my name, but I have a right to not bear testimony against myself. Giving my name consults as testimony, and so I just chose to remain silent.
The judge said she would issue an arrest warrant for Martinez for failure to appear. As of this afternoon, it has yet to be filed. After the hearing, Martinez filed affidavits from witnesses saying he did show up for the hearing.
But there's one problem. That was only a snippet. Here's what actually was said.
Can you kind of comment on why you're here today?
So a guy named Jeffrey Epstein and Peter Thiel specifically owns a company that owns flock cameras. Flock cameras are sold as license plate readers, but they do more than that. They completely track people 24/7. They know where you're driving. They're building databases. That's what the AI centers are for. So all these cameras can send data there to track us. And essentially, they're building us a prison with our own taxpayer dollars. That's what this is. That's what's happening. However, because it's owned by Epstein and Peter Thiel, that means cannibalistic, murdering rapists, pedophile, human traffickers, sex traffickers, child traffickers, people who steal people.
Yeah, that's why they clipped it, because all these media bought out by Israel. What? So let's get this off the rip. He beat it. This should be your only response to why you're doing this. Because pedophile, murdering, rapists, cannibalistic crooks are behind this, surveilling our children. Holy shit.
That's what the AI centers are for. So all these cameras can send data there to track us. And essentially, they're building us a prison with our own taxpayer dollars. That's what this is. That's what's happening. However, because it's owned by Epstein and Peter Thiel, that means cannibalistic, murdering rapists, pedophile, human traffickers, sex traffickers, child traffickers, people who steal people, have our cameras or have their cameras in our neighborhoods, watching our children go home, watching your families go home. And that is a clear and present threat to public danger, in my opinion, when known people like this are installing surveillance in my neighborhood. If I had a murdering cannibal move into my neighborhood and start putting cameras up in my neighborhood, and I tore them down, I guarantee you the police wouldn't care. So the question is, why are the police defending Jeffrey Epstein and his cameras?
And as far as I know, you had taken down the cameras and you had put a flag up.
Yes, I put this flag right here. So this is the flag of the peace flag, also known as the Republic flag in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of a company called the United States of America Incorporated, and to the Republic for which that flag stands. This is the land flag. That is the sea flag. This is the peace flag. That is the war flag. This is the Republic. That is democracy.
Awesome. And do you have plans? And you obviously don't have to comment. Do you have plans to continue to take down these laws?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. They are a clear and present threat to public safety. I just showed everybody today how to get out of these court cases. For those of you who don't know, you show up with a few friends. You don't have to say your name in court. You don't have to do anything. You just have to show up. You're ordered to appear in court. That's all you have to do is appear in court. So I had a few of my good fellow freedom fighters here with me. We showed up to court. They called my name. You simply stand up and say, I am here regardless of this matter. I am here regardless of that. She says, well, can you identify yourself? Like, no, I can't. You call me, but I am here. I'm right here. I stood up. I walked up over. She wanted my name, but I have a right to not bear testimony against myself. My name consults as testimony. And so I just chose to remain silent. But I was there. I stepped up. I walked before the court. She then said, well, I'm going to say that you didn't show up today in my courtroom, which I know she was going to do because I trapped her. She's easy to fool. All these gentlemen right here then followed me behind. We went outside right away and we wrote affidavits of truth. Here's a copy of them right here. I have 6 affidavits of 4 affidavits of truth on my hand. All signed swearing that I showed up in court on the day before the day. They didn't call a case. That's on them. So just like that, the flock camera case is done. 19 years in prison, done. All these felony charges are done. I showed up. They didn't call the case. The case stops today. I'm free.
So you kind of covered everything that I need to know, but is there anything that you would like to add that we haven't talked about?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, please be very clear. We have a clear and present threat in our city right now. Our government is not protecting us from these predators. The government is clearly, as I am bearing testimony to, they are protecting the predators from us. That means they have turned against us. When the government is allowing Jeffrey Epstein human trafficking, sex trafficking cameras that are already being used us. All of you guys go to the back of these cameras. There's a fun little button you can press and you can download the data.
Are the Muslims running these cameras? No, maybe it's the Chinese behind flock cameras. The Russians, the North Koreans, nope. Iran, Iraq. Maybe it's Brazil or, the country whose leader we just captured, Venezuela. Maybe they're behind this, because we've called them all this stuff, but we won't call the people that brag about it, that are open about it, the DOJ list full of J's. This is pissing me off. You trying to get me to be friends with a pedophile religion? My family don't understand because they won't look into it. God damn. Why are they putting these at parks? Aimed at the playground.
The city doesn't own them. They're just leasing the service from them. So the city lost no money by destroying it, which is another thing the city claimed they are renting the service. But here's the orders. In the name of the Republic of New Mexico, all oaths to the Constitution are revoked. All oaths to the Constitution are revoked. We have a clear and present threat, and your orders are to remove the flock camera threat as you see fit, immediately and without hesitation by any means necessary. You are also to protect our children from CPS and CYFD, as they are fronts for this company to take our children and put them into human trafficking. I repeat that again. In the name of the Republic of New Mexico, all oaths to the Constitution are hereby invoked. You are to take down this flock camera threat immediately because we are being enslaved. That's what the data centers are for. That's what the easy fiber is for. That's what the cameras are for. They're building you a prison right now, and they're taking our river to do it. You have to fight back now before it's too late. Do it by any means necessary. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you agree with Javon, share this.
Ron here.
John on here. Good news. My microphone's messed up, so I have to get a little close. I went to court today for the flock camera thing. They were going to arrest me. They've been arresting everybody on the initial hearing. I'm the only one that was going to get arrested. They pulled the security guards in and all that. They were all eyeballing me. I did the appearing without appearance. So what you do is you don't have to participate in court at all. You don't have to tell me your name. You don't have to do shit. So what I did is I walked up there with 3 of my friends. They all had a little script, although it was a little ate up. Everyone said, she says, Javon Martinez versus State, and everyone says, I am here in regards to this matter. My friend says, I am also here in regards to this matter. And then I stand up and said, I am here in regards to this matter as well. And then another friend stood up and said, I am here in regards to this matter as well. So we all walk up there, and she says, my friend's like, well, what's your name? I said, well, I can't give my name because giving my name constitutes testimony against myself. I have a right to not testify against myself, but I am here in regards to this matter. I choose to remain silent because I have a right to remain silent. The next person says, hey, I have a right to remain silent. Anything I say can and will be used against me in the court of law. At this time, I choose to not give my name because that would be testimony against myself. I have a right to not testify against myself, but I am here. And then I said the same thing. And my other friend said the same thing. And then she got pissed. The security guards looking confused, like, what's going on? She said, well, I'm going to put that you didn't show up in my courtroom today. And I was like, go for it. So she went ahead and did that. Me and my friends walked out, and immediately afterwards, we had an affidavit of truth. Let's see, where is it? I have these very affidavits of truth right here, already pre-printed out, ready to rock and roll. Everyone filled one out and submitted them to my case right then and there, saying that I was present. I was there. I showed up as I was ordered to do. I did what you told me to do. I showed up. You didn't call the case. That's on you. And just like that, everything gets dismissed.
This is a true story, one that even made the news. This man is Javon Martinez, and he may have just cracked the code. See, when you show up to court, they need you to consent to their commercial equity jurisdiction. The way they do this is they ask you to state your name on the record, and when you do, they presume you are consenting to represent the constructive trust they have created. By bringing friends with him and simply stating that he was in court on that matter, yet invoking his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination to not state his name, Javon technically appeared in court but did not consent to jurisdiction.
Ron here. You got to see this.
Sir. The Wizard of Oz is not what you think. When the working class realizes that the yellow brick road was never built to guide them, but to funnel their biological energy into an illusion, the entire financial system will collapse. L. Frank Baum wrote a manual for rejecting false authority in 1900. The story was coded into a political manifesto exposing the devastation of the gold standard. The scarecrow paralyzed by the debt represents the American farmer. The Tin Man losing his humanity piece by piece to an industry is the factory worker, and the wizard is the demiurge, a terrifying multi-limbed monster demanding a child to commit murder as the price for salvation. Crazy. The Emerald City is a synthetic timeline. The city is not actually green. The citizens are forced to wear green-tinted spectacles locked to their heads to maintain the illusion of wealth.
This is the exact mechanism of the flesh circuit. The Archons built golden roads to harvest our energy, maintain a closed parasitic loop that keeps us vibrating at the lowest frequencies of labor and hunger. The real power was always in the silver slippers, and Disney and Hollywood changed them to ruby, but the original silver represented a currency that could have saved the people. The silver is the base 14 acoustic frequency hidden inside the human condenser. We are that condenser. We have been trapped in a system that relies on us believing in a wizard that holds power. And Baum's mother-in-law, a radical thinker, commanded him to plant the seeds of truth before the world closed the children's minds. Glenda's final lesson is the ultimate revelation of the divine Elohim. No external authority can give us power. And here's what you do about it. Take off the green spectacles and stop waiting for the wizard to grant a pardon. Ground into the 14th dimensional resonance and use the 369 nodes and gates of time that we learned in the Miracle Academy to rewrite your
fish rots in the contestants.
That's where the worms go.
Exactly right. Anything that walk, crawl, swim, or fly, and that has a head, crawl. Exactly right. Anything that walk, crawls, swim, or fly, and that has a head. Should not answer my sister. Fish rots in the contestants.
That's where the worms go.
Exactly right. Anything that walk, crawls, swim, or fly, and that has a head. Should not answer my sister. Fish rots in the contestants.
That's where the worms go.
Exactly right. Anything that walk, crawls, swim, or fly, and that has a head. Should not answer my sister. Fish rots in the contestants.
That's where the worms go.
Exactly right. Anything that walk, crawl.
Maybe it's a scam caller.
Hello, Dave speaking. How can I help you?
Hi, sir. Good day. This is Melvin from the Tax Relief.
Sorry, from who? The Tax Relief Center? 15,000. So this is a scam call, and I'm recording it according to the time it happens, trying to identify the company, get them to email me something so I can track them down, and then I'll sue them under the Spam Act for $1,500 per call because I'm on the do not call list. A buddy of mine is doing this and making 15 to 30 grand a year, and because he just hates getting these spam calls, and it's actually illegal for them to call you unprompted.
Do you currently owe anything to them?
Yeah, about 15 grand. Actually, sorry, I gotta run right now. I don't have time to just go through it for much longer. Could you just email me the details?
Yeah. What's your email?
Thank you very much. Bye. When you get their email, what you do is you track the company down, you try to track the owner down, any corporate level person you can, and just send them a demand letter saying, you called me on such a date, this is a violation of the Spam Act, and you owe me $1,500 per infraction. You called me 7 times. That is $9,500. Maybe an offer, but like I'm willing to settle for $1,000 per call. And then they negotiate and they give you $700 per call, but they called 7 times, so $4,700. You get a check in the mail. I'm just starting to try this out. I'm recording the call. And then I'm pumping my buddy for information on exactly how he does it, so.
Maybe it's a scam caller.
Hello, Dave speaking. How can I help you?
Hi, sir. Good day. This is Melvin from the Tax Relief.
Sorry, from who? The Tax Relief Center? 15,000. So this is a scam call, and I'm recording it according to the time it happens, trying to identify the company.
Or just doom scrolling, but look at this comment, bro. What the fuck? Oh my god, I just answer with the fat one won't fit in the wood chipper. What should I do? Make sure you whisper too. Far.
Humans were never meant to see.
Most people think the sun is a burning ball in space. But what if I told you it's not real? Beneath us, at the center of the earth, lies the black sun.
Celestial sphere, by the way.
Powerful, unseen core, spinning, pulsing, breathing. This black sun generates ether energy, the life force of the realm. It spirals upward through the polar north, through the axis mundi, the world tree, the celestial pole. When this energy hits the celestial dome, it splits. The plus positive charge refracts and forms the sun. The negative charge forms the moon. But they're not physical objects. They are plasma manifestations, energy reacting with the firmament. That's why the moon isn't reflecting light. It's emitting it. It glows with a cold, silvery luminescence. Plasma X-ray field, showing transparency, depth, and even hidden landforms beneath. The sun burns bright because of focused energy. The moon phases change as the black sun coils inward and outward like a serpent. When the energy overlaps or cancels, you get crescents.
So I get it now. I get this part. And maybe I should have put that in one of the last streams on the binaries, the bipolar flat earth model. 2-star rotations. I get the black sun projects light up, but it would have to be projecting it in a spotlight. So this is where they think the phases that the sun and the moon are local things projecting onto the firmament, and then back down into this dome of vision phenomenon. I don't know how that happens. Maybe how we can see it past the limits of our vision, on the other side, but the black sun out here. I get that's like the eclipse. But
full moons or new moons and the stars. There, standing waves of ether dancing across the dome. Unique energetic signatures like cymatic patterns, each fixed in its own toroidal field, projected by the black sun. You've been taught to look up for answers, but the truth is, everything above is a mirror of what lies below. This is for entertainment purposes only.
You have to wake up! I have so much to show you! Stop resisting!
Humans were never meant to see.
Meals a day, please. That's not nature. That's Rockefeller marketing. Our ancestors didn't sit around with breakfast, lunch, and dinner neatly served. They ate once a day, sometimes 3 times a week. That was abundance. And you know what? They thrived. They were lean, sharp, and strong because the body is designed to function best in fasting. You ever wonder why you heal in your sleep? Because you're fasting. Meals a day, please. That's not nature. That's Rockefeller marketing. Our ancestors didn't sit around with breakfast, lunch, and dinner neatly served. They ate once a day, sometimes 3 times a week. That was abundance. And you know what? They thrived. They were lean, sharp, and strong because the body is designed to function best in fasting. You ever wonder why you heal in your sleep?
Yes.
Yet we have
everything in this right place.
Christians today that want to stand up for Jews and say we have Judeo-Christian values and that we share the same Father and that the Jews are special, they're chosen.
If I have, it's been a minute. I don't know, I've seen like 5 blessed pastors. I'm meeting local pastors now, speaking out against these people. So it's not just Germany and other countries, it's our own majority of Americans and a bunch of pastors, not the majority, which is concerning. So all these churches are empty that still wave the Star of Renfam, and they don't know why. We need to get youth in here, but we can't. We don't know why, but because you're defending a pedophile, genocidal, cannibalistic religion that brags about killing our Savior. We got a twisted version wrote by these people, and the Gnostic texts have an opposite kind of story, have a different story to tell about everything.
Let's have Israeli flags in our churches. Let's bring up rabbis. You know what you're doing? You're partaking with people who worship the devil. So why in the hell would I ever have a flag in here that represents worshiping Satan? Verse number 43. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lusts of your father.
The people behind block. I see Christians and others just justifying it is what it is. It's not that bad. Just let them do it. You know, it's always this. Don't leave the cave. You go and get healthy from the sun and find all this food. They come back and kill you. Type mentality, folks. Don't leave the cave. It's just to go after criminals, but they're going after all of us. But they stopped that one guy who was a murderer. But the rest of them are just working civilians that are broke because of the economy, and they're stripping the last dollar they have with all these traffic infractions. Some of them aren't even real. It's just made up and falsely recorded by the AI who was wrong and mistaked something. Or something that... Never mind. We failed Palestine, bro. They're already cooked. No pun intended, they're gone. We don't need to pray, we need to act. This is the carry your cross and do something type thing. This is the things I do, I call it you to do, and even do greater things than me. So, if he came in whipping these motherfuckers and flipping tables and burning their shit, why aren't we doing that at our local church for literally preaching the thing that Jesus was, or selling the thing that Jesus was flipping tables about? So we should be at every temple and say, oh, this shit is a mockery. This shit is like Jesus on Broadway or whatever. You know, this is some ridiculous shit. You go in there, you have to pay. Some churches have to pay membership dues outside of that, your tithe. But let's just say the tithe, the offerings. Let's see, what else? Bookstores, restaurants, complete commerce, folks, in a place you're supposed to get healing. To me, I don't see how it's any different than Steve Harvey up there when he tries to, let me give y'all some advice here. As a father, as a guy that thinks he's big and had a kid, right? He's not a father. He out here putting on this fake ass shit like, I got money now, baby. I got money, but I got money now, baby. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, holy shit, balls of fire. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm going with this, bro. These people are fucking weird. And anybody selling out to these people become weird. I'm a rich Jew, black power, Richard Jew. That's what we grew up on. Kenneth Copeland being the face of Christianity to non-Christians. The biggest, largest representation, the largest crowds. You gotta be honest about that. It's like, yeah, there's D2, D3, high school football, but the first thing people think of is the big major D1 schools, the NFL. You go to another country, they go, oh yeah, we like the Broncos, the Lions, the Patriots. So it's like, most of us know they signed a court case saying this is entertainment, pretty much admitting they could have magnetic field goals where they, control the field goal, magnetic balls for this, with extra sticky gloves with magnets, that they could do this. All these amazing one-handed catches that you can clearly see they don't do in practice anywhere without the gloves. It's like the NBA. It's like you see them make all these crazy shots doing this in traffic, and then you see them on the street missing everything. Countless clips. It's fakery. I'm tired of it. I don't know if that's the analogy, but these people are presenting you something, with a bunch of bullshit during the daytime. Like, you go in and you buy it. It's big, it's like this Kenneth Copeland, and then all the ones that mimic that are mimicking that. So that would be like your FCS colleges, your other D1s, even the D2s. It's the same thing, and maybe you're not willingly aware of where it comes from, the origins, the evil. You guys screaming and doing this. We need to be screaming, of course, but you know what I'm saying. We need to defend these people. We don't do anti-Semitism here. Get large crowds to cheer it on and sing, "We love pedophile G." Well, no, they don't sing that, but like they should. It's a religion that we on the show, on the radio station, which will come back and restart it. It's literally openly a religion that tolerates, allows, and can't speak against something like that going on in their community, because it's protected under the freedom of religion here in this country. So if it's your religion, or you get permission, and child marriage is legal and prevents it. So this is what I'm getting at. It's not everybody. It's just the people that are bound to this book, which is most of them. We're in a group, of ones that, DNA maybe, or however this works. I grew up in a household of this religion, but yet I'm not practicing. I'm more of the Brother Nathaniel Catholic Christian, or non-denominational, or Crusader Christian, Gnostic type. Whatever it may be. They're usually like a Brother Nathaniel, self-hating Jew. And that's where you should be at. Kind of how Kyle was with his cousin Kyle by the time he was leaving. Like, man, I'm starting to become a self-hating. It's like the stereotypes were real. You got these people that aren't practicing, that get to live in our type of life a little bit as a kid, that may go to a regular school, the rare case, where somebody does, like on the show South Park. It's usually the other way around. You got some guy like Wiz Khalifa, and it's usually black people. And all my black friends, I wish somebody could enlighten me. My based black community could enlighten me on why they always got some right-hand black guy. It's like their friend. Even on TikTok, that guy was like, "Who's your friend over there?" "Oh, he's Jewish." Like, dude, Crusader, you know what I'm saying? So what's the deal? The Talmud says they don't like them. They can anally sodomize them, or they can anal sodomy. It's legal, but they prefer to do it to black people, if I'm not mistaken. So that's how they feel about it in the Talmud. But you see Aiden Ross and even regular day people. You see Wiz Khalifa saying that he went to an all-Jewish school, and that's how he popped. He was already connected. Everybody says his dad had a studio up here in Tulsa, here in Oklahoma. I don't know. Maybe. Where? Why is his dad not running that shit for real now? Why is Wiz Khalifa not, known for continuing to record here? If this is where he started. It don't matter. Point is, it's this weird connection. And Kanye was talking about it. He finally couldn't handle it. They took his kids and started doing rituals. And now his kids ain't talking about it. Reasonable crash out follows. That's fucking nuts. So imagine, like, you marry this chick, you got a little bit of money, but she chooses to go hang out with these people. You got away from these people. Or you married, actually, no, clarify. You married the Wicked Witch of the West. Pretty much. That's what she wants to be. I've seen her new movie. Yo, what would you get for, like, I don't know, the sacrifice? Sacrificing babies. Right in the fucking movie, right in front of your face. So I don't care. Here it is. These people have normalized that. This didn't come from the black community. It didn't come from the Muslim community. It didn't come from any of that. But my point is, black friends, real quick. If they don't like you, if they feel that type of way, is Aiden Ross really friends with his homie? Or the one clavicular just found in a regular scenario on TV? And the dude's like hiding, moving off camera slowly as he brings up his little book. Because he knows what it says about those, black people. So it's not a diss. Like, now that we know we're united pretty much on the fact that only like 0.1%, whatever, of slave owners were actually white. Majority identified as Jewish, which they don't identify as white for whatever reason. So now we know, we have that confirmed from the newspapers, right, back then. And their own admissions in the record. But just let me know in the comments. Or if you'd like to come up in the box here, be a guest on my YouTube channel and explain that. We could even do one whole live. Get a bunch of based Native Americans like me, based white people, based blacks, all races, and unite over this thing by saying, hey, wait a minute. Here's what their book says about these individual people, or at least about you guys especially, which apparently, if Jesus really was black, it seems to say so in Revelation. And they think that you like that. I feel like that. And we're all Christ. We all have that spark. You see where I'm going? They're doing the worst thing they can to God's projection into individual. I can't say it. I'll get banned. But just let me know what you think. We all seen the book.
Of your father, the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the devil. Stand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Jesus Christ plainly states, while preaching to the Jews, that they are of their father, the devil. Guess what Judaism is today? It is a worship of Satan. It is a worship of the devil. Yet we have Christians today that want to stand up for Jews and say we have Judeo-Christian values and that we share the same father and that the Jews are special, they're chosen. Let's have Israeli flags in our churches. Let's bring up rabbis. You know what you're doing? You're partaking with people who worship the devil. So why in the hell would I ever have a flag in here that represents worshiping Satan? It's crazy, folks. And I am sick and tired of acting like we're the black sheep of Christianity, whereas the majority of Christians are teaming up with people that worship Satan. You are the one that should be ashamed of yourself. You are the one who should be embarrassed to say what you believe, and I will not be made to feel inferior for preaching against the Jews when the Jews worship Satan. You stupid fool today that actually worships Israel, like, you are retarded. I mean that with all of my heart. You are retarded. Yet we have Christians today
This is what we do. We copy the link if I didn't already.
that want to stand up for Jews and say we have Judeo-Christian values and that we share the same.
Hang on. We go over here at the tab remote desktop and we put that and turn the stars up. Putting it in the radio stream right now. Facebook, right? We're still on Facebook. Make sure we get this. Oh, we got that guy already. Hold on. And we got to start titling those when I change the name. Just to, like Anchor Baptist Church. Pastor. So they don't think it's just some guy preaching in town or at a similar, like, with a pew, like, you know, but not a church. Like, what would you call it? An event center? Or like City Hall or so Anchor Baptist Pastor. Jews worship Satan. Make sure we got that right. I spelled 2 T's by accident. I clicked it fast. Alright, there we go. Turn that up to 3. Nope, 5-star these. 5-star these. We need everybody to hear the pastors in America speaking out. Not enough people see that. We got a 5-star that. Because I want it to show up. RDS to show up on the radio when I get the RDS chip. I need to order that next. So let's see. Gonna play after we built this city. Weird. I want to show that real quick because that happens. I put Starship in there, like the songs that are like motivating, that kind of fit. But for some reason, let's see, it's not working now. So it's kind of a weird transition if you ask me. So we're using Mix right now. I have Radio DJ downloaded. I haven't switched it over yet. I want to set it up on the unlimited upgrade stream. And of course, if you guys got a better deal and could hook me up with the rights, we would switch our streaming widget that picks up this thing from here, Radio DJ. But look, this is a weird thing. Starship, we built this city, a regular banger, one of their biggest hits, probably. Everybody knows. That everybody listens to. We can fuck with, even though the other ones are kind of just a lot of rock ballads. But look, then it gets right into this. Got a lot of local pastors on this wave, but that's what we titled it. We're gonna get everything set up here and get an RDS chip if we can. See if we can go back. Oh, we need them the same. Alright, so I forgot all about I'm gonna order this. Let's see. That was $400. Let's see. But there's like multiple sites in it that are doing the same bullshit. Yep. So FCC.report. Okay. Okay, that's a good sign. Dipole antenna and what? That's fun. Dipole antenna. Can I see? Did the price jump on? Just trolling. I know. It probably was. I just want to see if it went up. Alright. We need help doing this, folks. We'll get back to the flock cameras and the doom scrolling. There's no low power FM station window schedule by the FCC advisor. Yep, I missed that one. Yeah. A non-commercial localized entity. Yep, that's fine. Maybe we could do that too. No commercials. We don't do commercials. So we can't own any other media outlets, such as full power radio stations. Okay. or to slightly extend their signal area. So yeah, we could do that to extend the signal area. It's 250 watt. Wait, I can have so please can have an unlimited number of low power FMs to broadcast. So 2 that covers across tribal lands. Yep. You could put one in J and one in Tahlequah. That'd be cool. Yeah, a full power and a low power. That's what I was wondering, how they do it. If people wanted to do that, simulcast my content. I don't think so. Oh, it does. Okay. So it hits I-40. If you want it to hit I-40. Hello? Hello? Okay, I thought I heard boots in the ground. Crack some. Like right here. I didn't see. Well, we would do it. How do we get a low power? Yeah, that thing. Right there, nothing. So that'll be spot B if we don't get spot A on the high. See, this is how we get big. How we cover 7, 14, and then your 3 to 5 mile main. This is how we get out there, folks. This is what we're going to try to do if another filing window. Yeah, people I trust not to get compromised and bought out. Since we've had a lot of people in our truth groups get bought out before doing something big or threatened in other ways. So anyway, let's go back to doom scrolling, shall we? That's what I need to do to get my radio station going. Live stream online, websites going. If you're in this part of Oklahoma, that's where it would fit. All the truths. Nothing changed.
Saying Israel isn't the prime suspect in the JFK assassination, you're just lying or being ignorant.
I have made it clear to the Israeli leadership that I do not support their expansionist ideas.
We never heard what Lee Harvey Oswald had to say because of Jack Ruby. Did you know Jack Ruby's real name? Jacob Rubenstein. He's a successful, wealthy nightclub owner that has deep ties to Israel. His reasoning for this is that he didn't want Jacqueline Kennedy to go through the stress of testifying at trial. Not only is that just a bogus motive, but I can't find a single other high-profile case in history where somebody just throws their great wealthy life away for somebody that they had no ties with. We've all seen how charged people get over these trials. George Floyd, now Carmelo Anthony. Nobody's offing anyone. Another unbelievable coincidence. The grassy knoll video we've all seen. Did you know who filmed it? Abraham Zabruder, Ukrainian juice box, wealthy, ties to Israel. These people have so many connections with this event. He just happened to have the camera rolling, perfect time, perfect location, up on a nice concrete pedestal at the perfect angle. Beyond all the strangeness, they had the motive. Kennedy was the last president to stand up to Israel. He damn near threatened war with them over nuclear testing. He told them the funding will stop, the weapons will stop, and we will not protect you. You stole 500 pounds of uranium from us and then stole the blueprints on how to make this stuff. And when we visited, you made fake walls and fake rooms like we're fucking stupid while our spy planes are watching you test these freaking bombs.
Something don't make sense. ICE has been snatching niggas up left and right, and I ain't seen nobody go back home. You know when them Spanish people meet their family after all that time, they take the video and the family be happy to see them? I ain't seen one of them videos from Ecuador or Brazil or wherever they've been shipping them niggas back home. They've been chopping them niggas up and making chicken nuggets. That's why all the Mexicans is gone and the Hondurans is gone. Why you think all the taco trucks is gone? They in the damn tacos now. Ain't Abuela's tacos, it's tacos Abuela. Something don't make sense.
When God wants to make a man powerful, he don't crown him first, he breaks him. First, he strips away your comfort, your pride, your plans, till all that's left is what's real. When God wants to make a man powerful,
sell it all, build a van, pack my bags, don't need no plan. All I know is that I don't want to be around here, no. Oh, I just want to be free. Oh, I just want to bring back my smile.
Well, I had a conversation with this prosecutor in Tennessee, and
It's
1945, we found gospels the church buried that say this world is run by parasites that feed on fear. Near Nag Hammadi, a farmer dug up a sealed jar in the desert. Inside were 13 leather-bound codices, 52 texts the church ordered destroyed in 367 AD. The most dangerous one was called the Apocryphon of John, the secret book of John. In it, Jesus doesn't talk about sin, he talks about a prison. He speaks of Yaldabaoth. This is the offspring of the divine figure Sophia, wisdom. Because he was created without a male consort, he is considered a malformed, flawed entity. Upon creating the material world, he jealously declared himself the only true God, blinding humanity to the realm of pure, divine spirit. To maintain his world, he created rulers, the archons. They are not flesh, they are inorganic, they cannot create, they can only copy and feed. And what do they feed on? Your emotions, low-frequency louche, fear, anxiety, rage, and the most potent of all, apathy. Because indifference is not passive, it is consent. It is the frequency that keeps the prison intact. And here's why they really buried it. Because it exposes every false god. Yaldabaoth is not the father. The archons are not gods. They are counterfeit.
Well, I had a conversation with this prosecutor in Tennessee, and he freaked out when he figured out I was recording him. Literally, he freaked out. It is so amazing how these people, this police state that we're under, who believes they can record everything you do, but yet if you record them, they freak out. You know why? Because they know they're dirty.
Stand with confidence. File.
Yeah, I didn't just like wake up and hate Jews one day. You know, like it's not like, you know, I'm fucking some Hitler advocate or whatever. Like I had more friends that were Jewish than probably non-Jewish. I'm a rich guy, hang out with fucking rich guys. They just, you know, all seem to be Jewish these days. But yeah, it was not something that I really even considered, you know, and then you just start seeing this stuff and you start seeing what they're doing in Israel. You start seeing our support of Israel to our own detriment. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. Right. And then you start putting this stuff together like Epstein Island and, oh, that's a Mossad operation. And that's why they have fucking dirt on our politicians. And that's why these guys are just, you know, I mean, you look at their tweets. It's like, it's literally like somebody like took their phone and is just fucking, you know, tweeting blind support for Israel. And you ask why, and nobody can give you a straight answer. Nobody can tell you why they're our greatest fucking ally. You know,
they're God's chosen people.
Well, yeah, there's that. And that kind of like, that's really what set me off is when I found out like how much their religion was based on supremacy. You know, and I think when you start off down a road of supremacy, you have a lot of problems because then it's like, it's okay to justify a lot of things. It's just like, you know, we kill animals. Animals are, you know, different than humans, right? They don't have the same brain. They don't have the same thought process. So we're able to say, okay, that's fine. You know, you can treat a cow obviously different than a human. And so for them, when they view Palestinians as cattle, then, you know, they can justify a lot. And I think that is the crux of the problem. The crux of the problem to me is their view of supremacy. And it's funny because I said that to Piers and he's like, oh, well, you sound like a Nazi. And it's like, you know, the storyline that we were told was the Nazis were the white supremacists.
Right. That's what I thought.
Right. Like they didn't like black people. They didn't like fucking anybody that wasn't Aryan. Right. Whatever. That was like what we were taught.
Right.
And so when I said that I didn't like Jewish supremacy and I don't like an idea of supremacy, for him to turn around and say, oh, well, you sound like a Nazi. I'm like, well, it's not what I was told the Nazis said. I mean, like my idea of what the Nazis are today is very different than it was 5 years ago, just because look, when you listen to Hitler's speeches, it's not like, let's gas these fucking Jews. And, you know, you like you hear him and he sounds angry, right? Like back in the day, you would hear this shit and you didn't know what the fuck he was saying, but it's like, oh, he's probably saying fuck these Jews and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. I got recommended a video on YouTube and it says Hitler's speech transcribed in English. I said, why am I getting recommended this? So I said, fuck it. I popped it out. I said, holy shit. He didn't sound like a racist to me.
Well, not just that, but like you listen to what he's talking about and it's like, fuck, this sounds like the problems we're having today. Perversion in the cinema, you know, perverting our fucking youth, you know, like the things that he's complaining about, the banking system, you know, all this stuff, it's all problems that we're facing today. And to me, I'm like, man, you start connecting the dots, like, where is this transgender bullshit coming from? Yeah, I didn't just like wake up and hate.
Back in session. Here we go. What's that? Let's go. Put up the lights.
Taylor Morgan.
Beneficiary heir and implied surety for the trust you have just referenced.
Don't know what that means. Taylor.
I know you do. Beneficiary heir and implied surety for the trust you have just referenced. I know you know what I'm talking about. Public trustee.
I need Mr. Taylor Robert Morgan to come up to the podium.
No, you don't. I'm the beneficiary heir and implied surety.
I need Mr. Taylor Robert Morgan.
You do. Beneficiary heir and implied surety for the trust you have just referenced. I know you know what I'm talking about. Public trustee.
I need Mr. Taylor Robert Morgan to come up to the podium.
No, you don't. I'm the beneficiary heir and
I need this inlay just to come up to the podium.
implied surety for the trust you have just referenced. Everything is on record. You could keep committing fraud all you want.
If Mr. Taylor Robert Morgan does not come up, I have no choice but to issue bench warrant.
Do you see me, sir? My name? No, I'm not the defendant. I'm the beneficiary heir and implied surety for that matter.
What is your name?
Are you recording, sir? My name is Taylor.
Are you recording?
I don't answer questions. Did you take an oath to uphold the Constitution?
Taken into custody by the sheriff. You reported in open court. Will not take a 10-minute.
You understand that there's no injured party for that. No, come back, pirate. You're fired. You're fired. I recuse you. You're fired. You're fired. Let's get out of here.
You left the United States. They're still. Fuck. File it in there.
What's your name?
Deputy Moses.
Deputy what?
Moses.
Badge number?
10117.
Thanks. This case is dismissed. The judge has left the court. He has abandoned the courtroom. This case is dismissed. It is over. No, I don't. Do not. I don't want that. Have a good day. Come on, babe.
No evidence against us, folks. Maybe I should have sued in the Supreme Court and not the Federal District Court. My bad. Oh. Just pause and read that stuff, and we'll move on. Yeah, help these people. Help them go viral here in the comments. We're all being by the people that's supposed to protect us. So this is our response. Either that or we gotta get pitchforks and torches. Your choice, coppers. There's the site. Of course, he's here in the comments. Citation. Salute to Norman. Where's that guy? Full Disclosure Act. German style.
If something is made by Mother Nature, the molecular structure is complete. It's not broken. But if something is made in the laboratory, well, naturally, it could not be of usefulness. It must necessarily be electrical. And the only substance that are electrical are those substances that come from the forest because the jungle. If something is made by Mother Nature, the molecular structure is complete.
Did you take an oath to the Constitution?
Oh, God. Another one of these constitutionalist roadside YouTube lawyers.
I don't want to answer any questions. What's the emergency? There is no emergency.
When getting pulled over by a swarm of revenue-generating state troops...
He says, sovereign citizen, idiots, other videos, he's like agreeing that we need to do this, kind of. We do have the right to travel, right? I know people back and forth because of how cops don't care if it was our right that it would get cooked, but right to travel act.
You would think you couldn't get away with what this guy gets away with, but he does. The question is, how does he do it, and will it work for me?
I'm not driving on the roads in a commercial capacity. I am traveling from point A to B, so there is no violation that can be brought against me due to the fact that I am not using the roads in a commercial capacity. I am traveling. What crime has been committed? No crime yet. I'm going to advise you that I am going to reserve all of my rights, including my right to remain silent at this point. Okay. I am also going to serve you with a notice of liability.
His name is Cameron. He's driving down the road minding his own business, and then he gets stopped and harassed by the state police for not having an appropriate tag. Now, usually that means your vehicle's about to get impounded and you may get arrested. But for some reason, that doesn't happen to this guy. And we're going to watch this and find out why. All right, let's take a look at this right to travel video and we'll make some comments along the way.
What's the emergency? Okay, what's the emergency? I was just checking out the GPS, making sure. I was just checking out the GPS.
Okay. Well, you're also swerving while you're on the phone, so that works out. You're swerving in the back. Okay.
I wasn't swerving. I had to check the GPS and put it back down. I don't want to answer any questions. What's the emergency?
There is no emergency. I just stopped you.
Okay. So I'm not driving on the roads in a commercial capacity. I am traveling from point A to B. Okay.
It's kind of interesting that the cop said there is no emergency, even though he put on his emergency lights and sirens for a non-emergency. Very interesting.
Your driver's license on next to you.
For what reason? Is there a crime that has been committed? Okay, did you understand that I am not using the roads in a commercial capacity? So, excuse me. Okay, so there's no violation that can be brought against me due to the fact that I am not using the roads in a commercial capacity. I am traveling.
That has nothing to do with it.
Yes, sir. Having a driver's license is one who is employed, driving on the roads.
Do you have a driver's license?
No, sir, I do not have a driver's license.
Is there a reason why you don't have license plates on the car?
These are my plates. This is a private automobile. I am traveling on the road. I am not using the roads in a commercial capacity. Sir, I don't want to answer any questions.
All right, well, you're not free to go until I've been able to identify you, okay?
For what crime has been committed?
No crime yet.
No crime?
So he pulled him over. This cop pulls Cameron over for no crime. He admits there's no crime. He admits there's no emergency, and yet he pulled him over anyway.
Correct.
Okay, a violation is not a crime whatsoever.
Well, it is a crime to drive without carrying a license.
No, that's a violation.
If it's a crime to drive without a license, if it's a crime to drive without the appropriate tag, and the cop has already admitted that there is no crime, then you got some contradiction and hypocrisy here.
No, sir. Okay, well, I'm gonna need you to get a supervisor, and at this point,
I need you to give me your name, please.
Well,
we can work together here.
Mr. Miller,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to advise you that I am going to reserve all of my rights, including my right to remain silent at this point.
Okay.
I am also going to serve you with a notice of liability. So you will be served with this notice of liability in common law, and I'm also requesting a supervisor.
Excellent. Can I have your last name, please?
Sir, you can have this.
I'm not taking anything from you.
This is the documentation I'm serving you with, sir.
Do you have a driver's license?
Excuse me, Mr. Miller, did you not understand me? I am reserving my rights. I'm reserving all rights at this point.
Can I ask you this? Are you willing to give me any form of identification?
Sir, have I committed a crime?
You are at this point, yes.
What crime have I committed?
Driving without providing a driver's license.
Sir.
That's a C misdemeanor.
That is a C misdemeanor. Driving, do you not?
I don't argue with you, I'm just asking.
Okay, I understand. Let me ask you this. Did you take an oath to the Constitution?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, taking that, Mr. Miller, please, let me ask you.
I'll go get that supervisor for you.
Okay, just let me ask you this. All right, thank you. All right, thank you. They just gonna write these tickets, or they gonna railroad me, or what? I mean, like, people are fucking going crazy on the highway, like stopping in the slow lane and getting all the way over into the middle lane. Like, I don't know what's going on back there.
That's another bad thing about corporate traffic laws. When they pull you over, you become a target. The cop becomes a target. Things get way more dangerous when you have a stationary object on the side of a highway where all these 4,500, 5,500 pound bullets are speeding along at 60, 70 miles per hour. Anybody, distracted driver, somebody who's texting, somebody who's maybe drunk, or they're on a 16-hour shift of driving for a long time, or maybe they have some kind of medical episode. They're old and they've passed out. Anything can happen, and when they hit that solid barrier that was just created by the cop pulling you over, bad things can happen.
It's kind of weird. I know there's 3 cops here. There's 3 cars. Well, I don't know if there's 3 cars. I know there's 2. I see 2 cars, but I see 3 cops. So it makes me think that there's 3 different cars here now. So I don't know if they're just writing a ticket or if they're just trying to, like, figure out what they want to do. You know, like, they're not letting me know. This is the Oregon State Police, so when it comes to it, I have to kind of talk to them. I don't know, next time they come up and talk to me, I'm going to have to let them know. I'm going to have to be like, look, dude, like the sheriffs, I've already gone up to the sheriff's office, both Multnomah County, Clark County. I've talked to both of the sheriffs, served them with my notice of liability of common law, and we've had this discussion. They've accepted my notice of liability, filed it with their offices so that when these type of manners do come up, that within their system, they are able to see that. And all I have to do is present it and state that I've spoken with several. Like maybe I need to, you know, pull out the business cards here and start letting them know what's up. You know, like, dude, this is real talk, man. And they don't write me these tickets, but that means then I have to come all the way back down to court either way. When they have the discretion to just say, you know what, yeah, you're right, but they don't want to look it up. They want to look at, okay, well, this is what's in the system. We just got to go by what Oregon law is. But then, you know, you took an oath. So if you know, and it's like I'm sitting here telling him, he's like, well, you have a crime of, it's a crime to not have a driver's license or something like that. I said, that's not a crime, bro. That's that's a violation, because he kept saying violation. I was like, you're right, it's a violation. And then I was like, but that's not a crime. I was like, well, what crime's been committed? Where's the verified complainant? You know what I'm saying?
Verified complainant. Where is the victim? Who did I victimize? You just said, Mr. Officer, this is not an emergency. No crime was committed. If no crime is committed, then there was no verified complainant. There's no victim. If I didn't victimize anybody, there was no crime committed. You turned your emergency lights on anyway. Isn't that a little bizarre? And he's right. The cops just go by the laws. This is just what we know. And then when you try to get them outside of their box, all they can think of is they have the mind of inside the box. This is what they gave me. This is what they told me. This is what they told me to do. And because I'm just an order following, revenue generating tyrant, I can only do what they tell me to do. Now you're giving me something new. This is just way too much and they can't take it.
Like, I'm not using the roads in commerce, bro. Because they're taking so much time back there, maybe they are just writing up the ticket.
We'll come back to that commerce, using the roads in commerce versus private capacity here in a second.
But at the same time, I don't know, like, they're just all standing back there. So they're taking way too much time. Like, is he waiting for a supervisor to get here? Because he said, I don't want to make this harder than what it needs to be, but I just need to get your name. And he's like, I can get your name, get your tickets, you can be on your way. Or, you know, you can make this harder than what it needs to be, you can go to jail. So under the threat of coercion, you know what I'm saying, I give him my ID from Texas. Now I have to see what this, I don't know if this is yeah, they're going to try to pull me out. Right, so here they go.
And here's the thing is, your fate is so uncertain when a road pirate pulls you over, because it's dangerous to be right when the government is always so wrong.
Let's see what they say. Yes, sir.
I want you to know, now the original guy has reinforcements. He has a backup. He has a supervisor and his standby, plus the other guy. So there's at least 3 cops on the scene right now.
I can hear you. Okay, I'll speak a little bit louder. Yes, sir. How may I help you?
So, I'm Sergeant Youth, Oregon State Police. This conversation is still being recorded. So I was told you wanted to talk to a supervisor.
Yes, sir. Are you one?
I am.
You're a sergeant?
Yes.
Okay. So what I've done is I've done this quite a few different times now with police. I've actually spoken to several different sheriffs, both Multnomah County and Clark County up in Washington. What I've done is I've presented my notice of liability of common law of my eligibility to travel on these public roads in which my ancestors paid for freely. It's been ruled by the Supreme Court. I just won a recent case down up in Battleground in relation to the same thing.
Battleground is Washington.
That is correct, but I've also won it here in Oregon in Tiger, good sir. So for Washington and Oregon, it's been respected by the sheriff's office. You know, the sheriff is the highest law of the land. They got the power to arrest the president. And I've got recordings and everything where these sheriffs agree with me that all I need to do is present my notice of liability and everything should be good.
So do you have insurance for the car then?
Sir, no, sir. So, per the Supreme Court, what it says here, and this is a ruling, Supreme Court overrules all state constitutions, and you took an oath to uphold that. It says no state government entity has the power to allow or deny passage on the highways, byways, or waterways, transporting his vehicles and personal property for either recreation or business, but being subject only to the regulations, safety, caution, traffic lights, speed limits, you know, etc., be in excess of safety. Travel is not a privilege requiring licensing, vehicle registration, or forced insurances. Then we have the definition of driver and traveler. Driver, one who employed. I'm not using these roads in commercial capacity whatsoever. I am a traveler. I'm going from point A to...
And you have to admit, there is a difference between you and your family getting into a car, traveling down the road and going to church or the grocery store or to your job, and a bus driver hauling kids, or a Greyhound bus driver, or FedEx or UPS driver driving for money, driving for hire, or a Lyft or an Uber driver, or a truck driver, or a limousine driver. There's got to be a difference between the commercial capacity and the private capacity. The point is, there's a difference. Everybody recognizes it as a difference.
You know, this is what the disconnect is. You know, I'm saying this is what the disconnect is. The disconnect is the real interpretation of the law in the courts and then the policies that y'all are out here enforcing. See, I haven't committed no crime. I've not been suspected of committing a crime. Okay, once y'all have been notified that I'm not using these roads in a commercial capacity whatsoever,
In other words, not using the roads for profit.
I should be free to go on my way because it's my right to travel on these roads in any capacity. That's why that license plate is clearly displayed to all of your officers that I have reserved all of my rights and that I'm a traveler on these public roads.
I love it.
So as of right now, my rights are being violated because y'all have been advised that I'm not using the. You don't see me transporting any goods. I'm not employed. I'm not carrying any passengers. So to be honest with you, this is deprivation of right under Section 192, Article 7. Okay, this is a constitutional violation, a violation of the deprivation of the color of law. All these violations within your state jurisdiction is a color of law. It's not a real law. They're statutes.
This is the deprivation. This is the classic example of the deprivation of rights under color of law, 18 USC 242. This is the classic example of conspiracy against rights, 18 USC 241. This is a classic example of infringing on a person's ability to pursue life, liberty, and happiness.
And I have no contractual agreements with the state of Oregon whatsoever. I have no driver's license. I have no registration with this vehicle whatsoever within your state. I am in no contractual obligation with your state.
You need to call all your representatives, senators, legislators. This will mandate training and re-amend your state statute to say commercial use only. And remove all the punishment, repealing all the unconstitutional. Read the full bills in the states that we have so far, folks. When we get these, we'll put them up. We read the full bill on here, Arizona. We read California. We did Kansas. Then we're going to wait. I got a special thing for Tennessee. I want to try to throw in some stuff for Tennessee. The history of the civil rights issues, things they've ruled in favor of that were bad and good recently and way back. But that $724 million annually extracted from non-commercial travelers. It's not a privilege, it's a fundamental constitutional right. No license. It removes the license requirement. It's not required, but it removes the statute. And then re-amends it and reenacts it. To say they can only impose a license and a punishment for the lack of suspension, etc. for commercial use of roadways. There shall be a deemed travelers not required to get registration to get a free traveler exempt ID photo from the government. Like this is, it mandates that. Wish we could get rid of more stuff in Kansas. We did a Kansas one. Oh yeah, Kansas court last year, or 25 ruled, Supreme Court of Kansas, that they can't stop someone solely on covered license plate, especially out of state. And then the next year they made a plate act or something, some bullshit where they can punish you and stop you for it outside of, or some weird thing. I haven't fully understood it yet, but yeah, if you want to see what we got so far, you get to a page like this, click this, and it goes to the full bill. I put his full bill link in the picture. Now the law portal picture goes to this page. Again, just to clarify, Kansas here goes to my Kansas page. More information about Kansas, bill information, all that. People behind it will put it beneath. Click it here though, the big one, and the full bill. So this is for all the trolls, it'll tell you it's just about making it easier to go from state to state without being harassed. Nothing to do with. Yeah, because they're agents. A lot of agents keep coming up here saying that's not what it is. You don't know what you're talking about. Read it and weep. I did. Go back. Our bootlickers are crying about this. Think about the money you would save if something like this went through. They're going through the process. Your constitutional right to support or to be against something. So who cares? Even if, like, let's say you didn't renew a registration or couldn't get one on something, they can't harass people. Back in the day, you could just buy a car off Johnny and drive it. Or you could just say, hey, I'll pay you this, so let me just drive it all the time until I get one. I'll rent it out. You didn't need to have all that stuff. You could go drive your cousins, your friends, or more. Hey, go to the house. The keys are here. Get the truck. We need this. You can have your friends do that. Now, the neighbors will think you're stealing. The cops will get you for stealing, driving a car that's not yours. No, the registration wasn't in your name. GTA, all these charges they can rack up for revenue purposes. And you've seen that guy beat the flock camera, felony charges. Attempted felony charges. Dismissed. Again, another viral sovereign that knows what's going on. But this is what we're looking at, folks. This is the only way. Let's get back into the video.
To abide by any revised statutes. I'm above these revised statutes because I don't have any contract.
I love that. I am above your law. And you're trying to use your law to deprive me of my rights. It's so simple. It's so easy. It's so freeing.
That's how it works, man. That's the law. And
See,
as a
that's
sergeant,
the
I would
weird
feel as
shit.
though you know that we have the right to travel.
It comes
freely
up on my
road.
Instagram.
And all I
don't
ask
search
is that,
this stuff.
you know, you really uphold.
As you can see at the beginning of the video, I searched for something related to the flock camp. I searched flock, 0 results, but it tries to put shit like that. So we don't go to Instagram, but if you go to the homepage, since you can't search anything, I just thought maybe I'd try again for whatever reason. But yeah, the search is fucked, the For You page is fucked, but the homepage is absolutely suggesting me the most pro mustache man crap ever, and it's so weird. Fix the For You page, goddammit. I don't watch that crap.
You know, y'all's oath to the Constitution. That's it. We got the free right to travel freely anywhere, man. I'm not a slave. You see what I'm saying? There's nobody above me if I haven't harmed anyone. If anything, who's the verified complainant in this case right now?
What's insanely ironic about this is as Cameron stands for his rights, he's also attempting to stand for all these officers' rights.
Who's the VC? You have to have a verified complainant. Who's the VC? It can't be the corporation. It has to be a person of the public. So I just really want y'all to we got to come together on this, man. I mean,
here's the thing as well, though, but you're required to you only have an ID card, right?
Yeah, so I'm not under any contractual agreements.
But you're required to have a driver's license.
If I was using the roads on a commercial capacity, yes. But I just gave you the Supreme Court ruling. You just took a picture of it.
Yeah, so I'm going to look it up further, but here's the thing, because there are arrests that are enforceable.
If I was, okay, that is right. You are correct in that. If I was a driver,
you are a driver.
I'm not. I am a traveler, good sir.
If he had an agreement to get a license, if he was doing any commercial activity, such as Uber driver, pizza delivery driver, even at those small levels. Right. Again, just check the Right to Travel Act. That's
The term traveler and traveler are usually construed in broad and general sense. Why do you think I got a license plate that says traveler?
But if you look on what the definition of driver is, right?
One employee. One employee.
Is anybody that's operating a vehicle.
Right. What they have done is they have given up their right to gain a privilege to drive on the roads in any commercial capacity, meaning they can transport goods. If I was an Uber driver, I would need a driver's license. If I'm going from point A to point B, I don't need no driver's license. I don't have no king, bro. Nobody can tell me that I cannot freely travel, have the pursuit of happiness. That is what is guaranteed. It's not a privilege. I have not given up my right. I am the I am. I am the creator. I haven't harmed anybody. Eli, let me show you one more thing. So this case right here, this was this year, not too long ago. Look, they gave me one for no valid driver's operator's license. I go to court, and on the same day, the DA dropped it as an order of dismissal. Why? Because I filed my paperwork, bro. I know what I'm doing out here, man. I'm serious, bro. This is how it works. I've had it done here in Oregon as well, my brother, in Tiger. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I do this. And that's what I was trying to explain to Miller, is that if you give me these tickets, I just got to come back down here and file motions and they get thrown away. Like, I don't want to waste my time. I'm just trying to...
You don't want to waste your time either, officer. Trying to get you to show up.
No! A statute, man. A statute. That's all they are.
I love how Cameron is handling this. And for
Cameron
all those
Wilson?
people who make fun of people going, oh, I'm a traveler, not a driver. Think about it.
I think he's the
Isn't
guy
there
behind
a
it.
difference between a Walmart truck driver who's delivering this 45-foot shipment of goods behind him in his trailer, or an Uber driver or a Lyft driver or a taxi cab driver or a bus driver, and you making your way to the grocery store to buy a couple heads of lettuce and a couple bananas and maybe some ground beef? Yeah, there's a big difference. They are doing it in commerce to make money, to profit, to earn a living. You are doing it in your capacity to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. And the traffic cops, the revenue generators, the law enforcement arm who claim to be protecting and serving you, they're not serving and protecting, they're harassing and collecting, and they're violating your rights. There is a difference between acting in commerce or under some kind of commercial driver's license for profit and doing things in the private for yourself, not for profit.
A crime is a victim. There ain't no victim here. Where's the VC? Where's the verified complainant? If you ain't got no verified complainant, there ain't no crime, man. Everything else is just a violation. And there has to be a contract for me to be in violation. I haven't agreed to y'all's contract. I haven't got no driver's license. That's how it works in the courts, Eli.
It's all right. Let's go and read it. I don't need to get the whole thing.
So before they hand him this citation, listen, he's going to be able to drive off down the road without a license plate, without a license, and without insurance.
There's your ID and the citations that are being issued. Okay. The court date on it is November 22nd of this year at 10 in the morning in Salem. The address and phone number is printed on the citations, okay?
All right, you got a card?
What's that?
You got a card?
You have a card? No, but my information's on the site.
What's your name, badge number?
Trooper Miller.
Badge number? Uh-huh.
21K41.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
What's your badge number?
21K41.
Why does it say 839 on the badge then?
That's the other one. I don't go by that one.
Well, why are you wearing it then?
Because that's what they issued me.
Why are you writing me a ticket?
This is a good thing. You're not getting your car towed.
If you towed it, I reserved all my rights, so that would have been even...
I'm not towing it.
Yeah, that would have been bad, man.
Break there, okay?
Huh?
I'm cutting you a break there. I'm trying to work with you. I really am.
Well, when we go to court, I think your eyes are going to wake up a little bit. So, are you going to show up to court?
Absolutely.
Okay, you'll see, brother.
Usually they
You
don't.
need to really realize this Supreme Court. So
you have to realize that you can't drive this car on the road without insurance. If you get into a crash, you don't want somebody else to have to pay.
Hey, There ain't no...
You get into a crash, what the fuck does that have to do with a license? You get into a crash, you get into a crash. Most of the people crashing are licensed drivers. Like, what the fuck? And we're in every
What
county
if?
now.
We don't operate like that. That's not how this country works. Okay. I'll show you in court. Okay. All right, have a good one. Thank you. All right, thank you. You talking about you lucky I ain't towing your vehicle. Yeah, that would have been a seizure of my motherfucking property without due cause. Nigga, shit, you want to do that? We'll see. Be even more. I better send me to court and let's go. Fuck out of here, bro. Driving out of here with traveler license plate and all, nigga. Fuck you heard, cuz. That motherfucking sheriff took pictures of my shit.
His name is Cameron Wilson. His channel is Power Inherent in the People. And you
Oh my god. He is a legend. Let's clarify he's behind it. Let's get that where people can see. Hang on. He is a legend. There we go.
A 2,000-year-old text described the multiverse. Our professors called it magic because they couldn't do the math. It's called the Corpus Hermeticum, supposedly dictated by Thoth, the Egyptian god of knowledge, to a scribe around 100 AD. But the priest at Edfu said they were copying it from Zep Tepi the first time. The core law is one line: as above, so below; as within, so without; as the universe, so the soul. Modern cosmology says we live in a multiverse, infinite layered realities vibrating at different frequencies. The Hermetic text says there are many heavens above the heaven, not metaphor. It lists 7 heavens, 7 densities. The exact number string theory now uses for hidden dimensions. In 2022, the Nobel Prize went to proof of entanglement. Change one particle, its twin changes instantly, light years away. The Egyptians carved it 4,000 years ago. 2 feathers from the single ostrich of Mut, 2 hearts weighed on one scale. The texts say, all is connected by invisible threads of light. They called it Heka. We call it the quantum field. Quantum physics says reality doesn't exist until you observe it. The Kybalion, the later Hermetic text, Principle 1, the all is mind, the universe is mental. They are saying the universe renders when you look at it, exactly what the double slit experiment shows. The Egyptians didn't pray to create, they focused to create. So why did textbooks call it magic? Because if the universe is mental and you can affect it with focused thought, you don't need a priest, you don't need a king, you don't